Today we're putting carpet over hardwood. You heard me right. Stick around. Hey, what's going on, guys? Yep, today we're putting carpet over hardwood. Now we're just going to have a walk through here and show you the difference. What's going on between the ceramics and the hardwood. That's about a 1-inch gap in there. You'll see it after. Gonna bring in the carpet. It's a 20-foot piece of carpet. Was not easy to get in. Get some pad in there. Well, we got to install this carpet over hardwood. They've got quarter round all around, and we've got to take that quarter round off. Now we're going to take our knife and we're going to cut the silicone or the caulking on top, just so that when we pull it off, it doesn't make an extreme mess. But in this case, you know, whenever you're doing this, you're going to have to do a nice little touch-up paint job after you do the quarter round, or put quarter round back on top after we do carpet. Now this is a popular thing. We're putting carpet over hardwood all the time. Believe it or not, we really are. So that's why I did this video. I thought this was a great chance for people to see that people are still putting in carpet, and they're putting in carpet over their hardwood. Now these people could have got this hardwood sanded down, and they could have changed the color, and they could have done a lot with it, but they wanted the warmth of carpet. We are in a colder climate, and people like the warmth of carpet. Now this was the challenge here. Well, look at that gap, and that is about 1 inch deep. So my challenge here was, how was I going to do that without putting a big silver metal on there? So I filled it in with smooth edge, because you can see that's a pretty big gap. Filled in with smooth edge, and then and you'll see the finished result after on that, how we install it. Now I'm just putting the smooth edge around, doing it about a 1/4 inch away from the baseboard, because there's no gap really, right? So we've got to pressure fit that in. Do it all nice and quick here. I'm sure I'll hear a couple of comments about not using snips on those pieces of smooth edge, but that's fine. There we go, nice and quick, 1/4 inch done. Filled in the gap. So smooth edge all around the perimeter, around the fireplace, about a 1/4 inch. And now it's time for the underpad. Alright, so since I have everything in the room, I'm just going to move everything over so we can roll the pad out. I always start on that straight wall and go towards the doors. Underpad comes 6 foot wide usually. This room is under 12, I think it's 11'5", so then the overlap of my pad will go into the doorways. So we're just cutting the pad around the perimeter. I'm always okay with 1/8 of an inch gap between the pad and the smooth edge, because when you kick it or stretch it, you're gonna displace that pad tight to the smooth edge. If you're too tight on the smooth edge, it could overlap a little bit and then cause you some problems later. So there we are, done. Underpad stapled down on the hardwood up to that gap, and we're ready to roll out and lay out the carpet. Now when I'm rolling out a 20-footer in a 12-foot and 11-foot wide room, I do it sideways first. I get it into position, I fold the corners in, and then so I don't scratch the walls, and then I start to turn to get it in the right direction. Then I start rolling out the corners, pull it into place, and then start revealing. Now guys, if you're enjoying the video, please like, subscribe, helps the channel. Really appreciate it. If there's any comments, any questions, please leave them for me. I do answer all of them. I do read all of them. So this is a straight wall, somewhat. Not all walls are straight, but what I like to do is I like to cut off that factory edge and line up on that wall if I can. And this one turned out pretty good. Then I got my extra over there. Actually, I'm wrong on the width of this room. I think it's about 10'2" wide. So we're just cutting all the excess off. I like to leave about 1 inch up so that we can hook to the pins when we're stretching. like stage 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, first is smooth edge and prep, and then underpad, and then cut the carpet down to size, manageable, and then stretching. Okay, just nice little release cuts around the fireplace. If you have too much carpet, whether you're kicking or whether you're stretching, it's not going to hook to the smooth edge. It's just not. Because you've got too much carpet up top. It's just going to push on the baseboard and pull off. So you want to get it down to a manageable level. Alright, so we're just going to take a walk around the room. You can see it's all cut down to size and a manageable level. So we can start stretching. Okay, so I'm splitting my room in half, locking it down onto the pins. Now I'm doing the far end from left to right, and then I'll go towards the fireplace. In front of the fireplace. Now in front of the fireplace was a little tricky because probably could have used 2 pieces of smooth edge there because it really wants to push back on me, but I stretched it a couple times and fixed up the problem. Bringing our bubbles up to the corner, that's how we do it with a stretcher. I have smooth edge against this here, that's why I'm locking it down. And then up towards the corner. Cutting it down to get it manageable, stretching that, getting it into the groove, because you got to remember that was higher, right? Because it's on hardwood here. So we've got to stretch it, and then I'm popping some staples in it just so it lasts. And we had talked about it, the customer and I, we had talked about putting a piece of quarter round against there. So it's not such a lip there. The quarter round will graduate it up. So there we are, just scoring and cutting. Remember, it's a pressure fit, so you got to lock it on the pins, otherwise it's going to bubble back on you. Cutting the vent hole. Get it in the groove, 45 cut. 45-degree cut. There we go. Tuck that in, clean that up. This was tricky. I had to do this a couple times. You can see it wants to pull out. Bang it on the pins, lock it into place so later it doesn't buckle. Push back and start putting ripples in the middle of the room. All right, clean up. We're gonna vac up, and we're gonna give the house back to the customer. And here's the finished result. They've got to do a little bit more vacuuming around the edge, but all in all, the customer was very, very pleased. And there's carpet over hardwood. I'm Keith Shannon. Thanks for watching.